take on the world. We're gonna take on the world. Standing tall, we gotta make it our own. No waiting around. Winners would never look down. No one can stop us, we got it. The future is right in our hands. Give it 100%. We're gonna take on the world. Yeah, we gotta move. Speaking the truth. Yeah, paying our dues. We making the news. Yeah, we hitting the roof. No, we don't wanna lose. Climbing and shaking the walls. We gotta break all the rules. We're gonna take on the world. We're gonna take on the world. We're gonna take on the world. We're gonna take on the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final call for all graduates, faculty, staff, and stage guests to line up for processional. Guests, please take your seats. The ceremony will begin shortly. Thank you.
As we come together to mark this moment, I want to begin by saying how meaningful it is to be able to share it with you. My name is Dr. Maria Elena de Sanctis, and I have the privilege of serving as the Chancellor of the Colorado Community College System. At CCCS, we believe education is more than a destination. It's a pathway to opportunity and to a more prosperous and fulfilling life. And today, you've taken an important step on that path. You've gained here what goes far beyond what's written on a diploma. You've built skills. You've gained confidence. You've learned how to navigate challenges and keep going. And those are the things that will carry you forward. Whether you are entering the workforce, continuing your education, or exploring what comes next. As you move into this next chapter, know this: you are ready, and you are not leaving us behind. You will always be part of the Colorado Community College System, the power of 13 colleges across the state, and we will always be here as a partner in your continued growth and success, because the work you begin now matters in the careers you pursue, in the communities you serve, in the lives you will impact. You are stepping into a future that needs your talent, your perspective, and your determination. There is more ahead, more opportunities to learn, more ways to grow, more chances to make a difference. So move forward with confidence. Carry with you everything you've built here and trust that it will continue to open doors. Congratulations, class of 2026. We are so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Good morning and welcome to Front Range Community College's 2026 commencement ceremony. I am Dr. Colleen Simpson, and I have the honor of serving as the president of Front Range Community College. On behalf of everyone at the college, thank you for joining us this morning to celebrate our graduates. Please rise if you're able and remove your hats for the national anthem, which will be performed by the FRCC Student Choir. The anthem will be interpreted by Sarah Tootle and Caitlin Swanson.
Front Range Community College acknowledges, with respect, that the lands that our campuses occupy are the ancestral and traditional homelands of numerous indigenous peoples: the Apache, Arapaho, Cheyenne, Comanche, Hopi, Kiowa, Lakota, Shoshone, Ute, and Zuni, being among at least 48 contemporary, diverse, and vibrant Native nations that have been, and continue to be, a part of the recent history of the lands that make up the state of Colorado. As we speak these words of acknowledgement, our intention is to recognize the ties that those Native nations have to their traditional homelands, while also recognizing our responsibilities as an institution that is the beneficiary of this land. We must also acknowledge the painful histories and the magnitude of inequities that Native Americans and Indigenous people continue to experience to this day. While we cannot expect the descendants living today to forgive or forget what has happened, we can offer a promise to remember the past and a pledge to forge a new path forward to treat our tenure in these lands with respect.
Thank you to our FRCC choir for that beautiful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. This morning, I am honored to be joined on stage by college leadership and our special guests. I would like to recognize FRCC's leadership team and ask them to stand to be thanked for their service to the college. Now to our honored guests. Please stand as I introduce you And let's hold our applause until after I've read all of the names. Dr. Abel Chavez, Dr. Angelica Schroeder, Sid Simonson, Yolanda Ortega, board member of the State of Community Colleges and Occupational Education, John Kenzie, Faculty Senate President, Connor Medbury, Student Government Association President. I would also like to give a special thank you to our narrators, Dr. Aaron Farb and Shane Sadison Bradford. Let's give them all a hand. This morning, I'd like to say welcome to our graduates, families, and friends. I want you to take a second and actually embrace this moment. You made it here. Be proud of yourselves. I'm so proud of every single one of you sitting before me today. Everything it took to reach this day matters. The early mornings, the long nights, the moments you questioned whether you could keep going and decided you could. This moment, this ceremony belongs to you, and it is one of the greatest honors to congratulate you on this part of your journey. Yes, I said this part. Because there's so much more ahead of you, and I cannot wait for you to discover it. I've spent the greater part of my life believing in one important truth, and I'm going to give that to you today. Learning is not a phase. It's not something you leave behind once you figure things out. It is how we stay alive to possibility, adapt when the world shifts, and it will shift this world. But more importantly, we must grow into who we are meant to be. I'm a lifelong learner, and the way I like to describe that means a learner for life. That is not a title I wear lightly. It is the lens through which I lead this institution. It is the standard I hold myself to every single day. And I'm here to tell you, the credential you are receiving today is not the end of your education. It represents your ability to grow, adapt, and keep moving forward. And that changes everything. Education is the most powerful tool we have, not because it guarantees a straight path. There's no such thing, but because it gives you the capacity to create your own path. It gives you language. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to walk into any room, read that room, and then shape what happens in that room. And when you think about community college, and of course, our college, it is where that power belongs to everyone, not just the few. Everyone, regardless of where you started, what your circumstances look like, or who have underestimated you at some point in your journey. FRCC said, there is a place for you here. There is a future waiting for you here. Today is not your finish line. It is your launching pad. The opportunities ahead of you are not limited because you began here. They are limitless because you did. In a few moments, you will hear from our keynote speaker, an incredible individual, one who sat exactly where you are sitting right now and went on to change the world in his own extraordinary way. The stories you will hear today are not just success stories. They are mirrors. They show you what already lives inside of you, waiting to be called forward. That is what FRCC produces. That is who we are. To the families in this room, I see you, and I need you to hear this. You showed up in ways that were seen, in ways that were not. You were the phone call at the right moment, the meal on the table, the voice that said to our graduates, "Get that homework done." Families, you held so much so that our graduates could hold themselves together long enough to make it here today. That support is part of this achievement. It lives in this degree. Family, in whatever form your family takes, it is the foundation of who we become. It is the core of who I am, and it is woven into every diploma, every certificate, every degree that we hand out today. And so we are grateful for you. I want to speak to something that doesn't always get said at moments like this. Creating opportunity is not just about finding that open door. Sometimes you will have to make the door. Sometimes you will be the first person in the room that was not built with you in mind. And you will have to decide, do I shrink into this space, or do I expand until the space fits me? I'm here to tell you, expand. Take up the room you have earned. Bring your full self, your background, your perspective, your community into every space you enter. You didn't all take the same path to get here, and that is your strength. The world doesn't need more people who disappear into rooms. It needs people who transforms them. People who ask, who isn't here yet? And go get them. That is how you shape the spaces you enter, and every one of you can do it. Graduates, as you walk across this stage today, carry more than your degree. I want you to carry the understanding of what you prove to yourself. You prove that you can show up even when it's not easy. You prove that you can grow even when it's uncomfortable. You prove that you can continue even when you are unsure of what comes next. That will carry you forward. And so I close and I say to you, keep learning, keep asking, keep opening doors and holding them for the person coming up behind you. You are not defined by where you begun. You are defined by the courage it took to take the first step and everything you choose to do after. I want you to hear your name called. Walk across this stage with your head held high. Let the people who care about you celebrate this moment with you, and then move forward with confidence in what you are capable of building, because now you are a FRCC graduate. Congratulations, class of 2026. Class of 2026, there is one moment in every commencement that belongs entirely to you. This is that moment. Some years ago, in the parking lot of the FRCC Westminster campus, a cool, good-looking young man, pulled up in a fiery hot red Honda Civic. He parked it, walked into class, and began a journey whose shape he could not see yet. That young man went on to become a civil engineer. That great accomplishment came after he failed one of his preliminary doctoral exams, a moment he told us was a soul crusher, but not a soul killer. So he came back 6 months later to take the exam again, and of course, he passed. Today, he is coming home. Not only just coming home to Front Range, but coming home to his old neighborhood. He is delivering the commencement speech at his alma mater, on the stage at the Denver Coliseum. If asked, I believe he would say he could not have imagined this moment. And that is exactly why he is here. We are proud to invite Dr. Abel Chavez to speak to you this morning because in many ways he is answering the question many of you may have asked yourselves along the way to this stage. Can someone like me belong in higher education? Yes, you do. And I'm sure you will leave here today inspired to believe anything ahead of you is possible after you hear him speak. If you ask Dr. Chavez who he is, you will never hear him say a university president. That's the last thing. But what I learned is that he first says he's a father. As I was talking with him, I heard he has a 24-year-old and a 18-year-old. He'll also say that he's a son. And I'm going to put his proud mama on the spotlight. Please stand. He's a husband. His beautiful wife is here with us. Please stand. He's a reader, and of course, a citizen of the world. But of course, I'm going to tell you a little bit more of his credentials also because I'm proud that he graduated from Front Range. Today, Dr. Chavez is the 10th president of Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio. He is the first Latino president in the university's history. Can we give him a round of applause? He holds a PhD in civil and environmental engineering from CU Denver, so please don't mess with him. An MBA from the University of Houston. And are you ready for this? This was his degree that made it all happen. An Associate of Science degree from our very own Front Range Community College. Class of 2026, please join me in welcoming home our son, our commencement speaker, Dr. Abel Chavez.
Wow, President Simpson, you brought up that Honda Civic. That red Honda Civic, that my wife Naomi remembers that one well. Thank you, President Simpson, for the hospitality and for this incredible invitation, faculty, staff. Truly, truly an honor. For the mothers joining us today, happy Mother's Day to you all. Para todas las madrecitas que nos acompañan, feliz Día de las Madres a ustedes. I was certainly born and raised in 80216, the same zip code that we get to celebrate you all graduates today. I was born and raised on Fillmore Street. Just a couple miles down, I hear some Fillmore crew in the house. My mile marker growing up was a Purina factory that is 0.8 miles from here. I looked it up on GPS this morning, 0.8 miles. That was my mile marker growing up. And this very neighborhood is where I heard things like, el camino al éxito siempre está bajo construcción. The translation, the road to success is always under construction. The lesson there for me growing up in this neighborhood is that long-term persistent thinking and action is necessary. I also heard things like, camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente. The translation, pretty much, not a perfect translation, but it's pretty much a, if you snooze, you lose, or the early bird gets the worm. The lesson there is alertness, action, and showing up in every space being the best prepared that you possibly can. I also heard things like, quien no arriesga, no gana. The translation, you can't win if you don't risk. The lesson there for me is putting yourself out there consistently, risk-taking, are all fundamental to creating the world that you see. And so the dream of mine growing up in 80216 in this neighborhood of Swansea was to attend a top engineering school, which is just west from here in Golden. I didn't quite get there due to financial constraints. Last second, I pivoted and I enrolled at the Westminster campus of Front Range Community College back in 1997. And it was there where I met folks, many folks, like Dominic Macaya, my advisor, who sat down with me at the start, in the middle, at the end of every semester, making sure that I was on path to graduating on time and on path to taking that next step. I also met folks like Ray Borsama, my Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 professor, who invested countless hours in me making sure that I passed Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 and eventually Calculus 3 at the very same campus, probably in the same classrooms that many of you have stepped foot in. And it's that culmination of experiences that have allowed me to see the world, to take on some really cool positions and opportunities that over the last 15 years, as I've stepped into new spaces, my mom has asked the question, so what is it that you do at work, mijo? And my answer has been and will always be and is certainly, Mom, I ask questions. That's all I do. I ask questions. I ask questions, and a lot of them of myself, of the folks that I show up with, asking, are we serving our students in the right way, with the right level of systems? Are we asking the right questions to making sure that we're driving progress for our students and families? That's all I do. I ask questions. And so today, over the next couple of minutes, I will ask 3 fundamental questions, which I don't have answers for, but I will ask 3 fundamental questions. And the first question, I think many of you have been asked and probably answered countless times, and that question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wanted to be an engineer. Today, I'm not an engineer. So I answer with pride, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. The late Honorable Gil Coronado, who is an alum of my university, Our Lady of the Lake University, who was also the founder of Hispanic Heritage Month, used to remind me, Abel, you got to retire early and you got to retire often. And this was his way. This was Gil's way of encouraging me to live a full and faithful life. And so as you go along to answer that question for yourself, you're going to be on this journey, graduates, and it's going to be topsy-turvy. It's going to take a lot of turns, but you need a map. You need a compass. You need a set of virtues to take you along this journey. And perhaps those virtues for you might be something like prudence, justice, courage, temperance, but you got to decide what those virtues are for you. Because the fact of the matter is, the world that you are stepping into, the world that you are inheriting, does not need passive observers. They need you to be good, to provide goodness. And the world that you're stepping into needs emerging leaders like yourself to draw new maps of hope across the world. And so I know that your education is about a transfer of knowledge. I certainly know that your education is about making a living. I also know that your education is about formation of conscience, of courage, of character, and about living a livelihood based on your values. And so I hope that you choose hope. I hope that you choose goodness above anything and everything else. And I hope that you will be a graduate who is courageous, that you will be a graduate who dignifies, that you will be a graduate who is purposeful, persistent, and drives progress for yourself and for your community. So that leads me to my second question. What will be your guide? What will be the virtues, the compass, the map that you use throughout your journey? What will be your guide? Many people, graduates, have believed in you. It is absolutely clear, and many people believe in you today. Just look, you have families, your families and friends joining you today, and many have invested in you. Some folks you know of, some folks you will never know, taxpayers of our state, are investing in you, have invested in you. And so we know that the endeavor of education is not a solo one. It is a collective endeavor. No one educates alone. I wasn't educated alone. It's a network. It's a system of faculty, of staff, of friends, of family, of peers who care for you, who love you. And so education is a we endeavor. It's not a me endeavor. It is a we endeavor. And so for these reasons, graduates, you have a debt to pay. You have a debt to pay to society, to do good with your education and to pay it forward. Your legacy, I promise you, your legacy is not dependent on how long it took you to reach this milestone. Your legacy is not dependent on what you earned on that exam, in that class, on that semester. Your legacy is not dependent on whether you raised your hand when your professor asked for input on that particular subject. And I promise you, your legacy is not dependent on whether you are from 80216 or from Fillmore Street. Nope, it's not dependent on those things, graduates. You have proven yourself that you can do the work. You're here today, and we're celebrating you. And so the question that really matters is the third question that I ask of you today. That third question is, what kind of ancestor do you want to be? And in fact, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to ask a fourth question. And this is the most vital question for you to answer. What kind of ancestor will you be? What kind of ancestor will you be? I hope that you will be courageous. I hope that you will be hopeful. I hope that you will be dignifying. I hope that you will be persistent. I hope that you will pay it forward. And I hope that you will draw new maps of hope. And above all, I hope that you become the kind of ancestor our world desperately needs. Thank you, graduates. Go out and conquer the world.
First and foremost, I go to school because I have a second chance to live life to the fullest.
I was sitting on the couch one night and I looked at my husband and I said, I've been thinking about something. And he got really excited and he said, are you finally gonna do it? Are you finally gonna get your psych degree that you've been talking about for 10 years?
Before I went back to school, I was just working for a municipality. It wasn't something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
I needed a place that was supportive, because being a mom, a student, and I have a full-time job, this was the best option.
I think my experience at FRCC was life-changing, because when I first came to Front Range, I was very unsure if I wanted to go into higher education.
Audio production, that was my favorite part of the degree itself because I got really hands-on with recording and meeting artists. It really helps drive that passion.
I've had the amazing opportunity to work in my pantry. I happen to be one of the people that gets to provide a resource, and I'm so grateful to do that.
My experience here at Westminster campus has been really transformative, especially for a student like me who are navigating a new country and a new educational system. I've grown as an engineer, as a leader, as a student, as a part of this amazing community.
English is my second language. The barrier of not understanding the technical terms in certain classes scared me. I had the courage to communicate that to my professors, and every single one of them were so supportive.
My graduation was actually delayed a full year. I really had to learn to lean on that community that I had my first experience with in the pantry.
Throughout life, I did develop alcoholism. I had to go through a program. Seeing what they did over there for addiction counseling, I've been given the additional opportunity that I have. I want to give back to the community with that.
My father passed away a little over halfway through the degree, so for him, I strived and made it through.
Trio pushed me to do things that I had never expected for myself before.
It's more than just a degree. Like, it really is about finding your place and getting to know yourself.
I've been really fortunate to be in a lot of classes with a lot of good people. These are people that I'm going to have as friends for life.
All the early childhood education teachers really pushed me to be a better teacher and a better student. I have a sense of accomplishment that I did something to get better in life. I didn't do it for anybody else, but for me.
This associate's degree is not just mine, it's about all my family. It's an amazing opportunity to show that if you have a dream, you can go for it.
I'm doing this for my parents, for my mom's dream of having education.
I don't think I've ever been this happy with what I've done with my life.
My biggest piece of advice is something I had to learn the hard way. Take it at your pace.
Keep striving, keep your eyes on the prize.
We are here to make a difference, and that's what we have to do.
Hold on to that feeling that brought you here in the first place, and hold on to that impetus to keep you moving.
Aprovecha esas oportunidades porque son únicas y solamente en Front Range las puedes aprovechar al máximo.
Keep going, you got this. So many people believe in me, so I can be where I am, and I believe in you too.
You belong here.
Tú perteneces aquí.
You belong here.
You belong here.
Tú perteneces aquí.
You belong here.
Là ngôi nhà mà bạn thuộc về.
You belong here.
Thank you so much to all the students who shared their stories in that video. You are prime examples of how FRCC students are dedicated, hardworking, and resilient, and how you've overcome obstacles to not only succeed, but to thrive. I cannot wait to see how you change the world. Good morning. My name is Sid Simonson, and I'm a 2008 alumnus of Front Range Community College. I love being a wolf. As an alumnus, I invite you to get involved and share your stories through our alumni network. At the end, we have a special gift for each one of you. I hope to see each of you at future alumni events like the Alumni Rapids game upcoming on May 23rd. Always a fun event, because once a wolf, always a wolf. And now it is with immense pleasure that I introduce our remarkable student speaker for our ceremony today. Alyssa Andrade is graduating with an Associate of Arts degree in Health Sciences. The daughter of Mexican immigrants, she is the first person in her family to go to college, and today she is a college graduate. Alyssa's journey to this moment, fueled by resilience and dedication, has been nothing short of inspiring. I am so incredibly impressed by her, and I am thrilled for her to have this moment to share her story with you. Please join me in welcoming Alyssa to the stage.
Think back with me. It was August 2021, and we were just coming out of the pandemic. I had just graduated from high school, and I wanted to be a nurse. So I made the decision to attend college to pursue my dream. I walked into FRCC on the first day, unsure of what was next. I felt like I was back in kindergarten, and a familiar sense of anxiety and fear of not belonging washed over me. So many moments then flashed through my head. I had been working in hospice care, and I thought of the people I had watched decline and die during COVID. I thought of the moments where I was holding the hand of someone who was taking their last breath as they longed for their family who had to stay on the other side of the glass. I thought of my parents who had always had to work long hours in jobs where they weren't paid what they were worth, to powerful moments with my family when we laughed together and suddenly all was right in the world. Somewhere in the middle of it all, I could hear my brother's voice in my head telling me, "You're smart, you can do this, and you will do this. Now stop being such a weenie," which was his own way of reminding me he believed in me. My name is Alyssa Andrade, and I am honored to be graduating today with an Associate of Arts degree in Health Sciences. Standing here in front of all of you right now feels surreal, because this moment is more than a ceremony or a diploma. It is proof that every late night, every doubt, every challenge, and every single sacrifice was worth it. Today is not just about finishing a degree. It is about us growing and becoming something more. As a first-generation student, I didn't think I'd make it this far. I got sent to kindergarten not knowing how to speak English, having to learn a whole different world, not just for me, but for my family. I didn't grow up knowing how to apply for college. I didn't have anyone at home who could explain what FAFSA meant, how to choose a major, how to apply for scholarships, what office hours were, or even what a credit hour was. I had to figure out so much on my own, step by step, mistake by mistake, and lesson by lesson. Many times I felt completely out of place. I sat in classrooms surrounded by people who seemed more prepared, more confident, more certain of their path, and I questioned whether I truly belonged. Over the past several years, I've dealt with severe anxiety and panic attacks where I felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. I had mental breakdowns. I spent late nights crying quietly, wondering if I could keep going, if all of this was even worth it. I faced financial stress, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and moments of deep exhaustion. including mornings where I woke up completely drained before the day even began. And the academic road was not easy either. There were classes that tested me in ways I never expected. College algebra became one of my biggest battles. The first time I took it, I received my first F ever. The next 2 times, I had to withdraw, feeling defeated and questioning whether I was truly cut out for this path. It felt like no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get it right. But what people didn't always see were the hours behind the scenes. I spent countless hours in the math center. I worked with multiple tutors. I showed up to my professor's office hours again and again, asking questions even when I felt embarrassed or unsure. I put in the work, even when the results didn't come right away. And then, the 4th time, I finally passed. Each setback felt heavy, and each failure made me question myself all over again. But those moments didn't define me, they refined me. And through all of that, I learned something so much more powerful. I learned that being a first-generation student doesn't mean you're unprepared or behind. It means being brave. It means believing in yourself even when everything seems impossible. Being a first-generation student means paving that sidewalk while you're walking on it. It means asking questions when you're too scared to raise your hand. It means failing and choosing to try again anyway. It means carrying not just your own dreams, but the dreams of the people who came before you. Who are those people for you? For me, I realized that earning this degree was possible because of the sacrifices my family made to get me to where I am now. My parents both grew up in Chihuahua, Mexico, unable to pursue their own dreams because their families needed them to work. I watched my parents work long hours, miss award ceremonies, birthdays at school, just to give us the opportunities they never had. Throughout all of that, my older brother has always shown up for me and kept me going no matter how hard things got. He attended every award ceremony, even if it meant he had to walk to get there. He taught me math and checked my homework because our parents couldn't understand it. He spent his first paycheck on the Jordans I just had to have so that I could have the same shoes as my classmates. My family believed in a future they couldn't always see, but trusted anyways. Todo este esfuerzo es para mis padres que llegaron sin nada y me lo dieron todo. Everything I achieve is rooted in their strength. I carry their courage, their resilience, their faith in something better. I carry my roots, my culture, and the voices that reminded me every single day que sí se puede. This diploma may have my name on it, but it will forever carry my family's story. A story that I will carry with me as I take my next steps into nursing school in the fall, with my eyes set on becoming a flight nurse. As we step into this next chapter, fellow graduates, remember, we are proof that hard things can be done. We are proof that doubt does not get the final word. We are proof that where you start does not determine where you finish. Ahead, we will face new challenges, new rooms that will make us feel small, new moments where we will question ourselves again. But remember, if we made it through this, through the uncertainty, the pressure, the growth, then we can make it through whatever comes next. When life gets hard again, remember these moments. The moments you turn sacrifice into success, the moments you turn fear into faith, the moments you realize you weren't searching for the example anymore because you became the example you once needed. As one of my favorite artists, J. Cole, says, There's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. And he is right. The journey I have taken to get here today is uniquely my own, as are the people on this path with me, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. To everyone here today, if you have ever felt like you didn't belong, let this be your reminder, you do. We belong here, we earned this, and we are just getting started. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Thank you, Alyssa, for sharing your powerful story of resiliency and determination. Students like you are the reason we do what we do here at Front Range Community College. And we know this is just the beginning of your achievements. Now, as our graduates prepare to walk across the stage, I want to tell you about a special congratulation gift from FRCC. Every one of you graduates who walk across the stage today will get a personalized video of your moment crossing the stage. So I ask of you graduates, please check your FRCC email one more time for your stage clip link within 48 hours. I would like to now invite board member Dr. Angelica Schroeder to authorize the college to grant degrees.
Good morning. To students, families, and faculty, I want to say that I'm honored to share this very special occasion with you. On behalf of the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education, I want to authorize Dr. Colleen Simpson to confer the appropriate degrees and certificates this morning. Thank you.
Would the graduates please stand? Graduates, as a symbol of completing your academic requirements at Front Range Community College, you may now move your tassel to the left. I'm standing here because my script got misplaced. And so they are going to quickly put it in here for me. Okay. So can I pause the lineup, please? Members of the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education, family, friends, faculty, staff, and other guests, I'm pleased to certify that these students have completed the necessary requirements to receive an associate or bachelor's degree or a certificate. And now, to the class of 2026. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Front Range Community College, and by the authority vested in me by the State Board for Colorado Community College and Occupational Education, I confer upon you the degree or certificate you have earned with all the rights and privileges. Now the marshals will bring the graduates forward. There's nothing like live.
Leslie Espinoza. Melissa Rochella Jones. Estefany Hernandez Moreno. Cristalena Ann Hansen. Annie Dorsey. Oriana Ellinger. Tristan Gorky. Brian Suarez. Alexander Nikolai Sutton. Arabella Sanchez. Ryan Philip Jr. Pichet. Kate Grace Swanson. Ciara Elise Tutley. Alyssa Andrade. Maya Mayer Elgreen. Jeremiah Scott. Uriel Isaac Gaitan Garcia. Kimberly Perez. Victoria Marie Erickson. Aaron Beatty. Adan Prunk. Brisa Idali Maldonado. Arthur Gonzalez Hernandez. Antonio Vargas. Ashley Janet Marquez. Yarazeth Galicia. Eduardo Gutierrez. Sergio Rodríguez. Mika Price. Lady Johanna Rodriguez Gonzalez. John Ding Phum Pham. Isabel Curtis. Tasmia Vazsuchich. Nailia Barron Mata. Kai Demetrius Carter. Arenas Rasul. Trinity Stano. Justin Eduardo Beristain. Nathan Taylor. Aiden Ray Martin. Cristina Aliana Calderon. Kaylee Irma Jean Kennedy. Daisy Janae Derrera. Kaylee Marie Tate Wheatley. Kyla Rodas. Christopher Enrique Espino. Ashley Groom. Julianne Marie Papi. Jordan J. Kozak. Isabel Marie Hine. Nicholas Yang. Brooke Tomlin. Flor Omba Espi Nio. Dulce Estrella Reyes Escobar. Juliana Andrea Mintley Castillo. Yadira Bautista Lopez. Braylon Lee Allison. Alex Daniel Herrera. Jocelyn Abriana Hernández. Valeria Rascón. Diego Joaquín García. Giovanni Rodriguez. Anthony Carl Krakowski. Blake Lanciani. Jennifer Padilla Ponce. Samantha Paige Robinson. Chloe Leigh Stone. Zachariah Sherman Baker. Liam Diego Renfro. Sean Nathan Trotter. Natalie Hansen. Natalia Jean Quintana. Romeo Padilla Luna. Jonah Lee Caston. Sean William Doty. Jasleen Molina. Glad Armeli Maxson. Isaac Rodriguez. Cade Padilla. Cade Christopher Hill. Sally Aguilar. Keelan Huang Un Lee. Gage Christopher Dower. Evelise Fernandez. Luke Lockwood. Seth Nelson. Logan Thomas Wayne Cullen. Gildebardo Mendoza El Cuarto. Ethan Sean Dean. Guillermo Cavazos. Paige Lothar. Naeli Paredes. Ariana Michelle Pendon. Brianna Mendoza Olivas. Allison Allred. Lexi Violet Roth. Raygren Monez. Liliun Brigies. Emily Helen Barzini Inchi. Vera Celestina Maria Holly. Iona Leilani Kelly. Kenneth Alexander Steffman. Lizette Salinas Lopez. John Stephen Wirtz. Sunshine Geraldine Tafoyo. JC Autumn Couture. Olani Suzette Ramos. Isaac Ray Garcia. Juliana Gallegos Loera. Elysia Ann Lucero. America Yvette Flores Fuentes. Gray Colleen Hanvey. Madison Morris. Melanie Macias Hernandez. Ariana Raylene Williams. Emily Martinez. Brittany Ariel Muller. Paula Montillo Hernandez. Valerie Alexa Badillo Hernandez. Cody Royce La Rosa Huerto. Tegan Lewis Boyson. Roger Uriel Aguilar. Dominique Juan Covarrubias. Evan Andres Castro. Silas Olutami Newland. Arziel Josiah Seoani. Kira Bell George. Dresden Peterson. Talia Morales Ponce. Joseph Lawrence Ott. Jeremy Allen Dobbs. Zoe Hope Woodworth. Aiden Diffendahl. Allison Olivia Enlow. Caitlin Marie Rhodes. Yusra Salih. DeMarie Daya Woolsey. Ember Michelle Kai Lane. Jenny Lohr. Jose Angel Luvano. Luis Juarez. Selena Yanes. Tayanara Sanchez. Judith Perez Escobar. Shar Dine Hardin. Bridget Farfan. Monica Kikita Simpson. Lisa Nicole Lojoya. Nadia Joleth Ponce Gamez. Jonathan Villablobos Miranda. Tito Marcelo Montoya. Akemi Lopez. Bria Arlene Espinoza. Autumn Sky Lee. Alexandra Neri. Rose Lee Dawson. Jose Miguel Rodriguez. Gabriel Lobo Lucio. Daniel Benavides Cosio. Dylan Tao. Luke Nathaniel Palmer. Caden Alexander Tim. Brody William Sauer. Deanon Alexander Davey. Dylan Ziegler. Jason Zhang. Gabriela Alejandra Navarro. Sarah Ashby. Tammy Anthony Hills. Spencer Joseph Franson. Bailey Elaine Arizu. Alexa Karimi Rosales Perez. Carolee Alpizar. Marian Huen. Ashley Jasmine Gardea Ochoa. Shaylee Alejandra Morales Galdamez. Estefania Juárez. Alejandra Viviani Guardiola Rodriguez. Kirkley Hammett Nakila Acompanado. Camila Gulos. Juliana Joray Maestras. Elizabeth Ibarra Saucedo. Andrew Aiton Chavez. Corina Nicole Cortez. Nancy Jacqueline Avalos Robles. Jasmine Janae Bonner. Chris Allen Taylor Ramsey. Daisy Barron Ortega. Madison Ray Harmon. Lashavi Falana Evelyn Moe. Heidi Bell. Karina Ariel Carney. Natalie Antovelena Rumiantesav. Destiny Kaylin Campos. Adamari Gutierrez. McKenna Jean Saldivar. Sophia Christina Olgart. Claudia Isabel Lopez. Isabella Arteaga. Eileen Chavez Jimenez. Patricia Sierra Gutierrez. Karen Melissa Sierra. Azariah Anazi Lucero. Jasmine Gutierrez. Monique Flores Rosas. Cecilia Limones Hernández. Erika Leticia Escalante. Kira Phoenix Arguayo. Bryce Carlton Turner. Marisa Carranza. Briani Lynette Martinez. Margaret Podaski. Raylin Martinez. Carissa Ann Kaiser. Ethan Alexander Arroyo. Diana Janeth Cordova Lara. Luke Ivan Torres. Jessica Cates. Cristina Aguilera Suarez. Stephanie Miranda Garcia Dominguez. Aneth Garcia. Emily Vanessa Rodriguez Munoz. Alondra Miranda Villalobos. Anielita Davon Jefferson. Elizabeth Bello Aldaco. Modessa Amadi. Pamela Alice Migilori. Eris Nicole Cavaleri. Peyton Gardela. Eileen Parra Contreras. Josué Jared Chacon Portillo. Melina Taylor Muth. Madison Lucero. Ariana Sugeli Carmona. Kimberly Yanet Barbosa. Emily Micaela Luna Jimenez. Haley Mackenzie Kenyon. Victoria Mendrano. Karina Lisette Solis Castruita. Alexandra Karina Ibarra Bracamontes. Alexis Menjares. Katie Fumia. Abraham Falcón Panuco. Isabella Leija. Ángela Ramírez Ríos. Mark Waite. Leah Boros. Teray Wagner Brown. Brisa Gonzalez. Chance Monroe. Luna Lovely. Ranjana Arkarya. Jennifer Alejandra Pektek. Monique Washington. Gianna Gibson. Alyssa Veiga. Camila Castro. Anai Martinez. Amaris Carey Garcia Sanchez. Jocelyn Loya Pacheco. Yasmin Cordova Valencia. Jessica Cervantes Pacheco. Penelope Michelle Tovar. Sofía Cerezo. Christy Arisbeth Ruiz. Brianna Christine Hasvold. Melissa Jeanette Axelrod. Kylie Morgan Dunn. Marcela Arabia. Adriana Guardado. Landon Firkins. Meili Macha. Amanda Braga Salazar. Jennifer Castanen. Reagan Love Uranitz. Leslie Michelle Martinez Roman. Dakota K. Fox. Denal Alexander Tena. Daniel Charles Fellows. Sam Salem. Roman Blake. Beatriz Sainz. Rudy Samuel Kus Abieta Pratt. Johan Rico. Brianna Stevens. Brian Stevens. Alexander Jacob Shin. Jessica Faustin. Melanie Monique Gurdon. Tin Bui. Alyssa Mariah Guardado. Anaí Flores. Morgan Schwartz. Tiffany Robinson. Desiree Justine Woolsey. Jocelyn Pratt. Tiffany Rose Quartz. Mariah Jade Marquez. Daneza Harris. Debani Amy Holmesy. Vanessa Steyer. Meadow Alice Abbott. Peyton Isabella Howland. Fatima Mendoza. Garrett Lee Joyner. Jaden Gaffney. Richard Newworth. Annalise Palmieri. Tierra Nicole Ben Joseph. Laura Danielle Fleming. Leah Alexandria Hobbs. Faye Aubrey Luckenbach. Bellany Walland. Leslie Perez Hernandez. Liani Bennett. Ryan Altermat. Julio Adrián Castro. Alfredo Gutierrez. Jordan Douglas Barrett. Erin Kathleen Perry. Paulina Ruiz Lang Cervantes. Vivienne Tia Baduri. Rami Lynn Duran. Ethan Swan. Juana Elizabeth Gonzalez. Carson Oliver Bayshore. Hilda Yasmin Molina Torres. Arieli Nunes Gallegos. Masuda Johnston. Dusty Jean Fries. Luna Ayele Sofia Murcia Kamoji. Fodi Alexander Diawari. Maria Teresa Mestici. Tevin Hutchinson. Jerry Twarker. Richard Alexander Sebastian Strobel. Hannah Anderson. Joseph Anthony Mendina. Kevin Thompson. Mac Brands. Shabana Irene Wahid. Alyssa Renee Hatfield. Liberty Hope Hudson. Thomas Whitney Barr. Gavin Powell. Lyrique Mall. Evangeline Louise Marty. Natalie Elizabeth Clegg. Megan Ann McLaney. Maria Lovrick. Aiden Coco. Alyssa Rose Baker. Taylor Ann Sadowski. Sydney Watley. Madeline Elizabeth Eilees. Caitlin Elizabeth Collins. Anna Paula Ramirez. Juliana Marie Montano. Daisy Jeanette Barrera. Aubrey Moore. Genesis Melissa Barrera. Aiden Michael Hardy. You're good. Ernesto Cereda de Santi. Duncan Douglas Fletcher. Jade Guadalupe Rios. Elijah Flowers. Thomas Acosta. Bruce Soren. John Paul Novak. James Edward Wynn. Josefa Maria Kukpop. Nicole Cordova. Jocelyn Mendinez. Esteban Munoz. Kaiza Hoffacker. Matthew John Norris. Mitchell Dean Enderly. David Keenan Jaquez. Elizabeth Sanchez. Ivan Garibay. Ana Maria Lara. Jocelyn Alatorre Loya. Enrique Madera. Quincy Earl Wallen. Jackson Drew Brinning. Liliana Marie Murphy. Gabriela Judith Castrejón. Lauren Holly Chopin. Mark David Rail. Caleb Edward Stockton. Justin Scott Riskin. Pablo Arellano Molina. Ivory Bonds. Fatima Rita Lucia Alegria. Kate Callahan. Brittany Elizabeth Roybal. Lily Matthews. Isabella Rose Rector. Taylor Jacqueline Heinbaugh. Alyssa Jean Prophet. Jennifer Herrera. Jocelyn Garcia Ramirez. Antonio Amaya Sirari. Brooklyn Eliza Reeder. Jordan Caitlin Vanderhoof. Hayden Christopher Burdick. Megan Vance. Jane Marie Knight. Chris Hatanaka. Grace Fittipaldi. Madeline Sue Sebesta. Carla Ann Workman. Crystal Nicole Creddy. Amanda Kathleen Jens. Astrid Lee Griffin. Kia Ricks. Shradika Bryant. Leslie Miranda. Ashley Nahera. Caden James Sudol. Nila Diaz de Leon. Kiana Marie Villarreal. Hannah Jane Dotery. Jacob Hauk. Kiri Ann Satowski. Quinandu. Jacob Matthew Rutz. Ania Talbert. Moretta Talalay Sagapoletti. Serenity Dawn Reynolds. Stormy Lynn Abel. Kenna Lynn Hughes. Elisheva Azibella Mila James. Micaela Acuna. Leslie Arredondo. Charlotte Grace Kahn. Priscilla Larson. Priscilla Guadalupe Adame Castaneda. Maria Sarita Auralia Sailis. Perla Karina Pena. Zoe Shelley. Stephen Heinricher. Aziza Alicia Andrade. Shelby Jamie Barbeau. Genesis Antonella Arzabala Lazos. Isabella Monique Arias Estrella. Janiza Varón Alvarado. Danica Marie Williams. Zoe Grace Dean. Alexa Viviani Vasquez. Alexa Maldonado. Daisy Rivera Lozoya. Griselda Banuelos. Emma Sue Taylor. Angelica Isabella Schreiner. Adriana Yvette Hernandez. Abri Lynn Espinoza. Kimberly Medel Herrera. Dahan Rose David. Ashanti Borjas Stewart. Jazia Lancy Strong. Tiffany Elizabeth Weber. Luna Rose DiGiovanni. Elizabeth Ziaghiari. Sandy Ruiz Galvan. Tania Jamanka. Janet Silva Peralta. Alexandria Alexis Thurby. Angel Cheyenne Cordova. Genesis Reyes. Yasmin Alexa Hernandez. Oriana Darlene Gallegos. Analia Naira. Jocelyn Sanchez. Marilyn Vanessa Mendoza. Giselle Ortiz. Carrie Daly Torres Garcia. Angel David Barraza Mayer. Karen Marufo Perez. Charlene Chum. Emily Ruvacalba Martinez. Cassandra Nicole Eguino. Paloma Quintero Lujan. Isabella J. Armijo Ladwick. Azucena Guadalupe Diaz Ramirez. Amia Michele Mendez. Karimi Quintanar Diaz. Andrea Rocha Lopez. Emily Gislini Marroquin. Isabella Romero. Gina Izarraras. Steven Miramontes.
In closing, thank you to all the family members, friends, and loved ones who are here this morning to celebrate our graduates. To our graduates, congratulations on the culmination of all of your hard work. You did it. Families and honored guests, as we process from the arena floor, your graduates will meet you upstairs. Graduates, please wait until the marshals direct you to leave, exiting row by row. Graduates, as you walk through the honor arch that our faculty and staff will make for you, know that your FRC family stands with you today and always. Wolves, this is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Let's celebrate!